Aggrey, there is so much to unpack there. I We are family. This is the beauty about it. I think that throughout the presentation,
Yes.
I am making notes, and I really wanted to dive in there and let us have
Yeah.
some conversation, because there's so much information to digest.
Hmm.
And we don't have much time in this 1.5 hour.
Yeah.
But albeit the interruption, I'm opening the floor
Hmm.
for people to ask questions, and let's see how we can.
So I was trying to hold off because I'm always, speaking. My question is actually about application in Guyana. Like, how do we make this work? Because when you were, hyping us up earlier in the week about the topic, I said, well, I don't really trust this thing because it's not tangible. I know earlier you tried to uh, hone in on how tangible it is, but how do you get non-believers to trust in this thing?
Right. Um, how to get done delivered? First things first. Nationally, the central bank has started a few years back. They asked myself and a few others to speak to them about education. So we started by having different sessions showing persons how it works, to person what it's not. But I think the biggest hurdle is scams. And persons being scammed and schemed and pyramid schemes, I think is really eroding the true essence of the technology. And because of that, there's apprehension and fear of persons adopting it um, into the daily life. But what I really do is like this evening, before we end this call, I have about 40 US to give away in a few ways. So if you, I'll tell you to download a particular wallet, and I will give you your first um, 3, 4, 5 US of Bitcoin. And from there, you can hold it, and if tomorrow the Bitcoin price goes up, you'll see the amount of Bitcoin that you have now go up. If it goes down, then that will happen. Um, as a proponent of this technology, because I understand it from a very technical perspective, I like to give it to persons and have them experience it, use it, look online to see who's using it um, for themselves, and then they will be the one to tell somebody about it, because marketing, word of mouth is pretty good.
Okay. I have a question, Aggrey. I was intrigued by the example you gave with Eldon, John, Hustian, and I starting some kind of a block, and then you further said that we can only spend this currency among ourselves. And then further, later on in the conversation, you mentioned going to EV and wanting to purchase something with currency that you have available, but can't because it is only assigned to certain places and so on. And what came to mind right away is that in the US, they have something similar to that already, albeit not block currency, and that is in the government assistance system program, where people get forget what you call it, but anyway, cash. It's not cash, but it's a form of cash. They can go to the supermarkets and purchase and so on. But I would like you to go back to that example with Eldon and John and I, because Eldon and I were discussing several months ago about an idea I had about networking brand youth and bringing in vendors where I guess Eldon can elaborate on this, but where you can go to a vendor and show that you are a brand new holder and get a discount. But we can talk details later. Go ahead.
Right. So what you're talking about there is a token. I basically did the first version of it. I created a brand new hash earlier. That's the first thing I did in the first example. I write the word brand new, uh, as, and I generated the hash for it. So because I generate that hash, um, and I can now take that hash, make make that hash into a token. I can program it and say I want to give this token I want to generate um, uh, a million tokens, right? A million tokens with that every every 20 blocks it must go up to X value, right? I can also say only person with this particular hash, me wallet or wallet that has this particular hash, which essentially will be a brand new wallet because you already created the hash. And it can only be transferred to and from these wallets. I write that code um, in the heart or the DNA of this particular token. And when I do that now, it falls under the parameters that I discussed. Now, I am trading between the 3-4 view, but then I want to go to EV. If EV is not is not part of the network or an approved in me programming the hash originally, then I wouldn't be able to spend it there. But if she's approved or you gave her this hash over time or at a particular time, I will now be able to spend it there. So different companies now are generating tokens, and some are doing it legitimately and some doing illegitimately. The person's raised, I know, I actually know of a guy who they came together and they created this nice brochure. They raised over 200 million US with them Caribbean white guys, a few non-white. And they were able to get persons pouring money into it just based on what they said this token is going to do. And that's how persons have used that to raise money. It's basically smart shares. We can look at it two ways. One, as I discussed, just as a token we could trade amongst our network. And the other part is smart shares, where you give each brand new member, let's say $200,000 worth of brand new token, and amongst ourselves, we can trade or in some cases, some people look at that, some financial experts will say that's bartering. Be that as it may, you can create it in that particular way. But yeah, it's really possible. And that's all of that is part of helping persons think about a future that's 100% digital. And these are the kind of things that are being researched in universities and government and big business today.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question, Aggrey. Could you expand on the pros and cons of crypto being unregulated?
Great. Let's go to the cons. The cons of it being regulated is basically what we have now. It's a wild, wild west. Persons are being scammed. Well, persons are being scammed. Regulation means that there's a part of blockchain which is called decentralized law. So I facilitated a session like this in Trinidad at my university, where there's a lawyer who came in, I think, from, oh my God, where is she from? She's from Europe, past Germany, heading across there, right? Can't remember the name of the country. And she showed sample legislation that you can use to govern this, right? And it was very informative. My head of department was there, senior government officials in Trinidad and because of the university were there. And they say, oh, okay, this is a good path to this becoming a tool or legal tender in our country. So there's a path to it being regularized, or there's model legislation. There are lawyers who study and put their time into getting this from on the ground geek technology that's been for a number of years. I got to know it in the crypto space before it became something that everybody knew. Computer engineers knew about it. So I think in the legalizing part, there are steps of lawyers educating lawyers and government officials on rules and regulations to govern the industry. It cannot really go a long way if there's not a lot of legal back-end acceptance in it. Because it is so proliferated now as anything, legislation always comes after disruption in any sector. And because legislation always comes after disruption, I expect in the future for model curbing legislation, of which I've seen, speaking all the way up to the CARICOM Secretary General Office, that is on the discussion now. I don't know where it is because different countries want to do it in different ways. So that is really the pushback. But I think in the future, it will be, you must have some legal grounding for its use. I also think that the Wild Wild West will continue because technologists and engineers like us will continue to find unique ways. So if I make a smart currency, you will have to have some law to govern if what I just made is enforceable. Am I going to be an enforceable body? So these kinds of education and need to take place with persons in the legal fraternity, and us technologists need to understand a bit more of how law works so that we can program these things properly, so that when they're out, they can conform to the legislation on the sovereignty. But there's an off the record response to that also, Eldon, that legislation or not, sovereignty has been more shifted now from a country to a person, where I could have $200 million in the bank and there's no tax system in the world. If I have $200 million in Bitcoin, there's no tax system in the world can tax me, only when I choose to convert that back to legal tender. Then you have source of funds and these kinds of things come into effect. So that's the pro and con of the two sides of this coin. Thank you very much, Ellen, for that question.
I have another question, if you don't mind, Aggrey.
Mm-hmm.
There was one example you gave about a benefactor sending money, and the lights were turned on, and then right after that, you mentioned how excited you were for a place like Guyana with Lethem and so on. Yeah. I think you were going to get into the agricultural aspect of this.
Right.
Can you expand a little? Can you? Okay. I run up to time. These are. Can you expand a little bit on that particular item?
Right. So on the agricultural part, listen, Damara, right? Damara Sugar can only come from Demerara in Guyana, you know? And my exciting application is that a tokenized Demerara sugar they can only be one version of it. Yeah, it must be geographically linked here. And I can't be in New York or England or Panama and see sugar from the Pacific Islands being branded with Demerara, because automatically, if I scan that, it should tell me this was in Indonesia and that kind of a thing. And you know it's not Demerara from Guyana, it's Demerara brand, but it's not originated from Guyana. So in the agriculture application is some persons call it in supply chain management. It's not something I'm well familiar with, but in long and short, it allows something created in a particular place without the need for UN or WHO or anybody to give us any approval for our brand of sugar. We created token registered in Guyana under our law, establish it, and all other countries who choose to use this sugar, we can tell them, if you scan this particular label or this source and it's not linked to the Guyanese registry of this sugar, then it's fake Demerara sugar. That's one application. We can apply this to any other crop in Guyana or a variety of crops that is indigenous to 84,000 square miles. That's my application. That is one of the things that I got excited about, because I know it's a current problem with especially the Demerara sugar from Guyana.
Very good. Anybody else? Come on, it can't be me. Okay, here we go.
Hey, good night.
Hi, John.
I agree. Good presentation.
Hi.
I've stayed away from I've stayed away from crypto and all of that for quite a while. I'm happy that I'm now 20 years. If it was 20 years ago, I probably would have been more engaged in it. I think maybe it's the old school side of me of actually needing to do something that seems to be like actual work, because I have a lot of cousins who are into crypto, and when they show me their wallets, I congratulate them. And every time I see one of their coins drops by 20 and 30%, and I see the panic they go into, I say, hey, my businesses are running. I'm not.
Yes.
My businesses never drop by 30%. So I think that's one of the things that I probably don't like about it, the lack of actual hard value that you put into it. It's a lot of speculation. Elon Musk says this and guys are happy. He says that and they're sad. I don't want my business to go that way. So you have the generation like me who sees it that way. But I can understand. That's why I say if it was 20 years ago, I would be riding this wave as well and figuring it out and making money this way. So what would you say to people in my generation? Should we still consider it, or should we just focus on the hard value that we can already deliver?
Right. I think you can, in your case, one of the major things with you, I think, with the emergence of NFT, you are actually a producer of things that are unique, that should not be funded or should not be copied. That's the second last slide I think I had. So, for example, some new training that Vishnu comes up with, because all year the environment globally is changing, and I would like to be in Australia and pay Vishnu for his training, and if I want to use the training anywhere else, I should be stopped from using it, and all rights and money should come back to you. You can look at it from that perspective, because NFTs, I think, emerge from the Ethereum blockchain. I don't want to get too technical, but Ethereum is more along the lines of what you offer. It's programmable. It's a cross between copyright and shares, because it serves two purposes. On one side, it doesn't allow me to copy and paste your training on a blockchain. On the other side, if you sold it to me and then I use it in something and it appreciates in value, a cut comes back to you in your wallet, because you did not do it. It was work that you had done before, but in the future, you are still making money over time on this particular training. Let's say you did in 2015, 2014. So that benefits you in producing as you currently produce now. In getting into it, because there's still a lot of volatility on the market, if you realize I stayed away from mentioning any coin. I focus primarily on technology, its application in different sectors. Because as one of the videos mentioned, most people must have heard about Bitcoin, its most exciting and popular app. And the pun there was like, persons use Bitcoin to apply to currency or a digital asset. But this is beyond that. This is a technology that 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm coming back to the question Elena asked, as legislation and the court upgrade themselves, we will come to a place where I will be in Africa paying for your course, selling your course to 2 and 3 times. It's appreciating to millions of people, and you are still in Guyana being paid because it's a non-fungible token, or because your bookmark or your brand is non-fungible. That's the value of it to you.
And then just the other part is what is your opinion on when this will become more mainstream in Guyana, or we have a development community as well in Guyana?
I don't know. I've spoken to 5 members of the Guyana Central Bank. And I spoke to them because when the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank started their rollout and that kind of thing, I think the governor, the deputy governor, the manager, persons in his office, all were invited, I think, by someone in CARICOM. Yeah, I think they had. And they wanted to understand more. And they had remembered that I had approached them years ago. And that I asked me to come and speak with them. Even Mr. Lal, I sat down with him and his staff. The same example I showed you, I showed that to him because somebody was trying to sell him something and he wasn't too sure. And I sat down with him, I went through, if it doesn't follow these principles, the bank should not necessarily approve it for something being blockchain based. And he's like, oh, okay. So I think the Central Bank of Guyana, there's enough curious persons there at different levels, as I mentioned, at the very senior level. So they are speaking with the persons in the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. I don't know if they'll have the same appetite in the future, but I think if there is enough private sector demand and query, because in Guyana there are lots of traders. I think Ellen, if Ellen is still here, he mentioned something just now about the dark web and the untraceable nature of some of the coins, but not all. I'll speak to that just now, but that I think has put a pause on especially central bank. I don't know about the Ministry of Affairs and Finance, but for the central bank, that Ponzi scheme stuff has really made them whole off, because in their respect, they seem uneasy about it. So I think they're interested. They have always ask questions. They always come to the Caribbean meeting, but I don't know how close they are to putting out a statement. But I even mentioned to them, I gave them a free idea, I must mention, of creating a sandbox where foreign and local companies, because I think there's a guy in Burberry who wanted to create a Guyanese dollar based on the cryptocurrency, based on blockchain. And I think I mentioned that this is probably a good idea to get local innovators involved with international innovators so that they can monitor 3 to 6 months how the companies work in a sandbox governed by the central bank before they allow customers in and that kind of thing. I haven't heard any word from them since, but that's as much as I know. But I know, for example, Republic Bank, which is the bank that operates here, has advised, I saw in a circular, that they are now allowing, if I have a brokerage account in the US and I want to cash out into my Guyanese Republic Bank account, I can do it with Republic Bank from my Bitcoin broker or whatever the case is. That for me, as I mentioned before, private sector always leads innovation, and laws and development people usually follow. So in that case, yeah, that is as much as I know from the central bank. I spoke to some of the central banks about a month or two ago, and they're still asking questions. So I know they're mulling it over. I just don't know internally where they are, but I know they're mulling it over.
Okay, thank you. I just, would hope that someone in the community takes up the role of educating the population and turning it into a real business. Waiting for things to organically happen, in my opinion, is not the right way. So someone needs to take charge and move it on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely agree. Thank you very much, Dr. Dorota. Someone?
Aggrey. So take brand news, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
How would you implement a blockchain ID in brand news? We have a community.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than 50 strong. How
Mm-hmm.
more than 50 people? How would you do that?
Well,
would it make sense?
Well, it's based on scale, no. The short answer is no. But what can happen, and I want to go along the line that Dr. Dorga mentioned, and that is education. And I think education through experience is critical. So one thing that can happen is amongst the 50 strong, and I plan to start that tonight. I am going to give out about $40 of Bitcoin. And amongst ourselves, I person can hold it in the wallet to see what it does, because Dr. Dorga mentioned speculatory, it can go up or down. We agree to share information and continue to look at ways. And in the back of my head, there's an idea where we can generate a token and award persons that either by persons who show up to events or a reward system of brand new tokens could be something that we can work on to see how many brand new tokens you own. I own X amount, and you get these tokens by doing certain things. One of the things that I didn't delve into because I really don't want to get too technical. I tried my best. Is that proof of work, proof of stake, proof of weight, proof of energy. So, quick example, proof of work. If I doing so I don't know if Malika is on this call, but Malika doing work of calling the transport people, Sarah doing, based on work done, different tokens are awarded for voluntary work. Eventually can then be redeemed or be used at EV's business to get some coffee. God knows I work for those tokens. Stuff like that, I think, is one way of generating brand new blockchain-based token and using it within this community in a very small control experiment, which essentially would be like a sandbox. That's an idea that quickly comes to mind. But I think sharing established coins amongst ourselves, everyone having a wallet, have a few dollars on it, so when we travel or wherever, we could buy a coffee somewhere and you use it until the utility net. I think is a good first step. But I think to use it as like a reward system is one of the easiest applications that I know of right now.
Thank you, Aggrey. So this coin that you're planning to give everyone, do you want to start that process now?
Yeah, because I know it's approaching 9 o'clock. All right. So I want to give it away in two ways, right? One is I want to put up a slide from a colleague of mine in Curacao, where I could ask everyone to download a wallet. So for you to get certain things, you must have a container to receive it. Because of that, let me just get that slide up. So I will share that slide. All right. So let me just pull this up so everyone can get. It's available both ways. So let me share the screen. So I assume some persons will have iPhone, and some persons will have some persons will have Android. So let me share my screen. Right. So this is one of the wallets if everyone could could download this. All right, and if it's not working on your phone, the alternative is Exodus.
Just send a link in the group.
In the group. Okay, I could do that. I could do. All right. I could have done that earlier, but I didn't think. I was too busy trying to get this $40 out.
Okay.
Alright, so you could use either one of them. You could download it on your computer, iPad, etc.
All right, I'm installing.
Great. So we have one person installing. Now, Selwyn, I really don't think you should get any of this money, though.
I apologize for interrupting your
presentation. I just think we should give it to people who showed up here. You understand?
Okay, I agree. I installed it, but you're right. I think you're absolutely right about that.
You know, we should do it for the community. So I'll be giving it to everybody, and I will leave back.
You're gonna give to me.
Give to you. So good. So we have installing by Sarah. If anyone else have it installed.
I have it installed, but I found out I can't get anything.
You're making me laugh here, Selwyn.
Let's ask the other person who showed up. Let them try to install it, give them some time. In the meantime, let me share this with you.
I'll accept on behalf of Selwyn.
Sure, I'll definitely give it to Dr. Berg. All right.
Dr. Dorg is a millionaire, you know.
Man. Listen, I've already agreed.
But he's my friend. He's my brother.
I'm a professional acceptor, so that's why. You know.
Listen, you see all. So this is my wallet. It currently has 40 US and 7 cents on it. I guess money went up. So this would be what I would be sending from. So you'll know if I send all or if I didn't send all. One of the beauties of this is it helps you to be transparent and honest with giving people money, because as you saw in the video, it doesn't allow somebody to sneak in and take off a 5 cents. You'll know where that 5 cents goes, or what address it went to, etc. I have to say something based on what Ellen said before he left as a caution. I think he reminded me of something, but I'll do that after finish this. Anyone else in the chat? You see here?
So this thing is downloaded. What's the next step?
All right. You must. Which one you downloaded that?
Exodus.
Okay, excellent. Well, once you go into Exodus on the Bitcoin, you must see receive.
Receive. Where do I see that?
I'm not touching anything.
Yeah. In the Exodus wallet, you must see different currencies.
So somebody just received.
No, nobody received it. The value.
So I'm seeing different currencies.
Right, you must see Bitcoin there.
I'm seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum,
right.
under the.
Right, click on Bitcoin.
Click on Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm. And do you now see the ability to receive or send?
Nope.
Right. Click on receive.
So I'm not seeing it. There are three icons, a circle, two arrows, and a square.
Oh, no. When you see Bitcoin, let me pull it up on my phone. I assume okay, what phone do you have? Is
Okay,
that
so I'm
Android
seeing
or-
two arrows. One of the arrows says receive, and then
all right, good.
your
good.
BTC address.
Right. And
I have to share that with whom?
right, you share that with me. Right. And so so do you see an address like this?
And if I share it in a group, everybody gets to send me stuff that I can upload.
Yes. That's basically it. That is it. That is basically it.
All right,
This
I
is your-
sent it. I sent it there.
All right, good. Let me see. All right. So just now, let me let me grab this copy. So you're gonna see me send you this. So
Oh, I have an idea.
hold on.
I'm sharing mine, Aggrey, just in case.
Oh, this is
Dorg is not the only man who's gonna get rich here tonight.
so Dr. Dorga, please confirm that on your receiving address, that is BC1 is the beginning and the last three things is N90. Is that true?
I'm saying you don't have any BTC activity as yet.
No. In your receiving address, if you look at it, please confirm it starts with BC1 and ends with
Yes,
N90.
correct. Yep.
Then you
Oh, I see what happens now. Okay.
then you
Uh-huh. Is Evie still on?
I think she left. So this is for USD.
Uh-huh. Wow.
All right. So so that should have been sent.
It says back up your wallet.
Yeah.
I need to do that now, or
Well, not now, because they're gonna ask you for use a 12-word paraphrase and that kind of complex thing. I didn't
I
mention
can see
anything.
that. I can see that I have.
For me, join drag and drop stuff working. Usually happens.
I got $4 came in.
Excellent.
I need to send your receipt.
actually,
Oh, your $4,
okay.
Richard.
I'm gonna show you something just now, where you could track that transaction. You'll know where it was confirmed, who sent it to you, when they sent it to you. You may even see the address that sent the money to this account that I'm now using to see how much was sent to me originally and see if I had used any money before the $40 came. You can even see all of that. It is very, very transparent. So let me send to Sarah before we get up all the cool stuff.
And what is the transaction cost?
Well, it varies, you know. It varies. I'll go down. Okay, if you look at the bottom,
Aggrey, press the send button. Press the send button as you explained to Vishnu. Press the send button.
All right.
Could get distracted, buddy.
Right. So at the bottom, you see network fee of 81 cents. Right. So that's what it costs to send that to you.
That's almost 20%.
Wow.
Right.
The sound effect is good. It sounds like money leaving your wallet.
Sounds like he's getting a heart attack.
Oh, I have $4.
Great.
Aggrey, you have my link, sir.
Anyone else? I'm sure that the other person fell on the call. Let me see if anyone put it in the Veronica. All right, let's go with Veronica. Let's go with Veronica. All right. Veronica just want to make sure that she gets. They want to.
Sophia just put hers in my thing. Put it in the chat group, Sophia. In the brand youth.
Right. So for this transaction, Dr. Dorga, the cost went down. It's now 74 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But high volume time gets expensive and that kind of thing. This is why there are different coins have different transfer costs. So yeah. All right. So we send off that. And if persons had issue downloading the wallet, I can top up your phone with Bitcoin. I can actually buy you credit. Fun fact, I ran out of credit in Antigua one time.
Aggrey, could we continue this transaction, please, sir?
All right, we'll go. So who we ended with? Veronica.
And then there is Sophia.
Which one is Sophia? The 6-5, the 628 number?
Let me see, Sophia. I think it begins. Hold on. I'll tell you. Sophia ends with 9U8Z.
All right, but who is this person? This person is in.
Look in our WhatsApp group. It says Sophia Dolphin. Forwarded.
Hello.
Hi. So,
yeah, that's most of the 628 number.
Sorry, wasn't the name of the person?
Mosa.
Oh, Mosa. So I'm sending it to Mosa now. Oh, the cost of the transaction sent up.
That's a rapid fluctuation in transaction cost, though.
Yeah.
This is like Oprah. Aggrey is like Oprah. You get $4. You get.
All right.
There's Sophia Aggrey.
So Sophia will receive hers. No.
Awesome. I'm going to share mine again just in case.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, I just got it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, great. I just shared mine.
All right, just confirm that yours starts with BC1 and ends with MH5?
All right. Hold on. It starts
And
with
because,
BC1 and ends with MH5. Yes, that's me.
because you,
Oh, I'm excited for Selwyn. Why
M1
you
5.
give Selwyn $3? What's
because
going on?
the cost of the network
I can't take
is
the
a dollar.
The
Oh, the
abuse.
transaction.
Oh,
Right,
Price
so
went
I
up.
have because it's like it was cheaper for Dr. Durga and Sophie and others. So then you happen to be the expensive one. I'm sorry.
that's good. That's good. I like the number
I
three.
know you. Right? I
Who's
think
next?
that's
That's it?
everyone.
Nobody else
Oh,
downloaded.
right. So if
But
you
now no one is seeing it. Aggrey didn't see it.
if you didn't see it,
Tula, you download. Oh, by the way, there's another one, Aggrey. Tula.
if you didn't see it, I could send you.
Aggrey?
Oh yes, I'm sending to Tula now. I could
Yes.
send you it in GTNT or digital credit if necessary.
Aggrey, you got to do another presentation with this particular aspect of it, so you can get brand new, because this is exciting.
Most people like this part, but because I'm a technologist and an evangelist for this technology, I stay away from this and talk a lot more about the technical stuff and the other applications.
Okay. We will. This is fun, Sarah. This is fun.
Yes, I see Natasha just dropped her address in the WhatsApp group.
Do we have
Aggrey,
to-
we're gonna
to
broke
get
you
back-
tonight.
Yes, I
do we
did.
have to get back to the other
This should have been like the interval of the presentation.
the beginning?
Or the beginning.
Yeah. I try my best not even do this or even mention I do this when
Yeah, Aggrey.
when we talk about this stuff, because it's
There is Natasha, Aggrey.
Thank you, Aggrey.
you're welcome.
Yes,
So,
thank you. I was trying to get it all along to download it.
all right, so this person, the cost of transaction is less than $1, so we're good here. Somebody could get some more. All right.
Aggrey, you don't have more bitcoins, man. I mean, you don't have any more, just $40. I love this. I love it.
So to answer Dr. Dorga's question, I can't remember who addressed it.
Mine is the easy one.
Right. A minute. I can't remember, but this one, just to show him, because he was concerned about the transaction. So let me just show him the underbelly behind that. Share this. So I can't remember who exactly who this
That's
was.
it.
This is yours?
No, that's not mine.
Right. But this essentially shows the size, the stats, how recent it was. And if I refresh, it will update. You can get the details. And okay, so there's the extra navigation. You remember earlier where I did the hash of the word brand new, and I got this long alphanumeric number. Right. So the witness of this transaction for those persons who are legal people here is this is the address of the witness, right? And of course you see the transaction ID, so you could trace and see where it went. You see the size was 192 bytes. You can even, if you, right, are you still seeing my screen?
Yes.
are you seeing these long numbers? If you was really into math and that kind of thing, you could look at the hex. You could probably tell how much work was done. Power consumption was a great content for Bitcoin. Very power intensive because it's the first one. So they really didn't focus on energy efficiency. You could see all of that going forward.
Okay.
So yeah, it is. Let me see what it shows you. I'm looking for.
Two more minutes, Aggrey.
Right. So this essentially shows how much money I had, and it shows me sending this per person for US. Right. So that I think everyone who could have gotten got. And I think we are over time.
Made $4 overtime.
Yeah.
That's all right. It was worth it.
Tula, I
Aggrey,
just want to confirm that you got.
Yes, Aggrey, thank you.
Okay, good. Because I'm now seeing the message on Zoom. Yes, sir.
okay. So Aggrey, thank you for this stellar presentation. I'm with Sarah. This could have been like 40 minutes of the presentation because it was so much fun. But the knowledge was very important, and I really appreciate the presentation. And thank you so very much. As I said early on, one day you should come back and give brand new some more lessons on the Bitcoin aspect of it. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it here. And think, Aggrey, of how we can apply this technology and some of its benefits to brand news. But thank you once again. Dr. Dorga, you want to close us off? Want to say anything?
This evening, I would like to thank Aggrey for educating us a bit on it. I've been following up here and there on the technology. I think this evening all of us have a better understanding of what blockchain technology is all about, the excitement that $4 can create, so much to learn, the excitement that Selwyn also benefited from through the exercise. I think this is another benefit of this community where we have a lot of experts, each expert in their own field, and that sharing allows each one of us to get better. And also like to thank Aggrey for creating an experience that many of us learn by doing. And this evening he got us to do something that we otherwise might not have taken action on if we had not been given this opportunity. So thank you very much, Aggrey. Thanks, Selwyn, for hosting us this evening. And to everyone, a fantastic good night, and take a look at your $4 and watch it grow.
Good night, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing you all those of you who are in Guyana on the 11th, on Saturday at Ithaca. So Sarah's busy with our team, busy coordinating the trip. So any questions, please contact Sarah. And once again, thank you, Vishnu.
Okay. Up to what time is it likely that the team will be at Ithaca? Up to what time is it likely that the team
12
will be
o'clock.
at Ithaca?
We want to get there at 12.
Oh, and up to what time?
Maybe 4 or 5.
4 or
if
5,
that
yeah.
late. Yeah. We don't want to stay there too late.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and please, as Dr. Dorga asked, please set your passphrases. Don't share it with anyone, because if you share that with anyone, they could steal your money. To secure your $4 if you so wish. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Good night.